excited for you and for just all the amazing things that you are doing. Love, romance, romantic movies. That's exactly it. That's what it was that we were doing. And that was a very, very fun conversation. So thank you all for that because I went to bed yesterday still kind of amused about all the cool things happening and the conversations that we had. All right, I am rambling. Go ahead, Sharonda.
Not at all. So we are super excited, like Dr. Bailey said, for basically for the movie. Well, sorry, I keep saying movie. I feel like we're gonna have a whole movie soon. I'm just saying.
Give
But
it a minute. We'll get there.
the short film, like she said, is a love story. And so I love the plot of the story. So I hope you guys enjoy it as well. But our goal here tonight is just to invite you in to talk about it. And we also want to talk about, what is your favorite holiday things that you like to do? What are those things and that you like to do with your family? Because we are actually having games at the expo on tomorrow. So I want to know from you guys, what is your favorite family game and family events that you do for the holidays? Because that is something that is super cool. Now, Dr. Beatty did something today that I thought was so awesome. And I was like, oh my God, goodness, Dr. Bailey, you did it. Dr.
What?
Bailey,
Oh,
you did
I'm
today.
like, what did I do today? I did. I did. The children, my sister has four, and her husband had to work or something. And so their school had a skating. And she asked, could my mother and I come out to sort of help keep track of four kids at a skating rink? And I went and I laced on some skates. Haven't been in a skating rink in forever, but it came right on back to me, and it was a lot of fun. I was glad I got an opportunity to spend a few minutes on a skating rink this evening. So that was a blast. That was a blast.
Yeah, and I brought it up because at the expo, we're talking about self care things and, making sure that we're taking care of ourselves, warriors, caregivers, entrepreneurs, just people in general, like just really taking care of yourself. And I think one of the things that is so awesome about this community is that we do support each other and that we help with the children and that we help with our, grandparents and parents, and we are a community that just helps anyone that's in need. And I've seen that, especially in Dr. Bailey. She tries to help the whole world. I told y'all about that yesterday. But what I wanted to do is just bring a little focus over to self-care. And self-care looks different for everybody. And we're going to talk about that in our creative content class on Saturday at the expo. And we really are going to focus in on making sure that even if you are a boss, you are a volunteer, whatever you are doing, a caregiver, a warrior, make sure that you take out time for things that make you happy. And the reason why I wanted Dr. Bailey to share that is because I know personally that her nephews and nieces make her smile. You know what I mean? And so when I say that self care looks different for everybody, I truly mean that. Sometimes reading a book is self care, sometimes listening to music. That's my thing, that's my jam. It's self care. And for me, doing arts and crafts, yes, I am 45 and I do arts and crafts and I love it. Okay. I was talking to Mia Robinson today about doing a cricket class because I finally got a cricket. It's not the one I want and I'm trying to get a new one, but I finally got one and I'm super excited about it because I get to create in a different way. I do jewelry. Like everybody has that one thing or a couple of things that make them happy and can be in a category of self care. Self care is just not always laying down and, drinking tea. Self care definitely looks different for everyone. And for me, with my family, that's self care. I know that Dr. Bailey absolutely loves her nieces and nephews. And I do know that she loves to read books. But I want to know from you guys, what does self care look like for you? And what are your holiday events like, what is a favorite one that you like? We talked about movies last night, but do you like those Christmas Eve parties? I miss them ever since COVID, I haven't been able to have a Christmas Eve party, and we used to always do it, and I miss them. Dr. Bailey, what is one of the things that you do for self care just for yourself?
My decompression is reading. We talked about it yesterday, but I spend anywhere from a half an hour to several hours before I go to sleep every night reading. I
Yeah,
enjoy that. That is something that, some people will watch television, others will
yes,
listen to music. Sharonda, my mom is television. I think you, Sharonda, are more music, but for me,
yes.
mine is reading. And I discovered some time ago that almost all of the classics in English, French, and UK authors are free online. And I imagine other languages are too, but I found those three, and US, UK, and France. Almost all of the classics are free online. There's all kinds of other stories and books online. There are entire platforms where people just share their creative writing, and some of that is unbelievably good. Like, I cannot
Wow.
believe this is free. Some of the creative writing that other people do, and I love reading. And we had some others that have shared in here too about some of the things they do, and I think some of it, like, it looks like Shelfina, music, cards, spades. You were here
Girl.
like that was a dig at me, but okay. I'm just Listen, Shelfina, you are on it. Great food. I surprised my aunt who was traveling with me recently. I love food. Food and I don't have the best relationship. It gives me all kinds of abdominal pains if I'm not careful. But I travel for the food. When I go other places, it's for the food. Best food I've had so far has been Japan and Puerto Rico. Different types of food, but food. That is
Wow.
me right there. And loving on the babies. Yes. My babies are absolutely a big part of my self-care. We got
Uh,
Edo here.
yep. She says, my young adults and I play board games. I like candy laying cards and I do crafts. Listen, Ada, you're going to have to be a part of our craft class because I promise you, I am learning so many people do arts and crafts. And I think it's okay. We should have an arts and crafts class or I won't say class, just a arts and crafts session where we can just all come in and do some type grown folks arts and crafts, okay? Because the kids be having good ones over there. We can do ours too. Oh, you crochet?
Crochet too, Etta.
Do
Me
you
too.
know, I didn't know you crochet.
I do. I do. Blankets, hats, and I
I didn't get a
haven't.
blanket. I haven't gotten a blanket.
You have not? You know what? I will make you a blanket. You tell me
I
what color
mean,
you
green,
want.
green.
Okay. I can make you a blanket. I do. I like that too. I was actually taught how to do that in the hospital. I was laying in a hospital bed, and I don't know if she was a nurse. I kind of think, they come by and finish your check in. I kind
Yes.
of think she was that lady. And she brought me her crochet and she taught me the granny stitch. And she left it there with me, said she'd come back for it. And I finished the entire blanket laying in that hospital bed. And I left it
Oh,
with the nurses. I said, give it to her when she comes back, because I was discharged before I saw her again. But I learned to do that laying in a hospital bed. I love crocheting.
wow. I did not know that about you. Like, this is like, oh my gosh,
Is that new information?
this is new information. Let's see. Oh, crystallized games, girl, crossword puzzles. I'd be like,
Oh, I
baby, ask
love
too many
it.
questions.
I have some strange ones too that I've put together, and my cousins will buy them, or I'll find one online, like a weird puzzle, not like the straightforward ones, but like the ones where the pieces are strangely shaped. Or this is one that I was working on recently, and it makes an elephant, but all of the pieces are in the shape of other animals, and they're very, very,
Oh,
very
wow.
that one is I did finish it, and another one. I have some strange ones. I was gonna ask, does anybody else, because a lot of you are saying games and board games, but does anyone like the really random games? Like, just weird, you have to really look for it? Because I really like those. Just strange random games that you can find places.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about that, y'all. Fatima says she loves puzzles too.
I
Um,
do.
And
Oh,
she said, "Oh, she like watching Golden Girls comedy. The babies just
Golden
make me
Girls
cry.
is fantastic.
Thank you for being a friend." I cannot sing that song without doing the other version. Oh, I'm not even gonna go there.
Yes, girl, that's the one that has replaced the original in my head too.
Ah! Oh my god. Let's see. Yeah, so everybody's putting in their thing for their blankets, just letting you know. Dr. Bailey is a lady with many talents. Wow. I can place an order for a blanket too. Listen, I feel like a business is coming on here.
I tell you what, I would be more than thrilled to do a tutorial and show folks how to make a blanket. That I could get down with. But I know good and well I would not have time to make blankets. But listen, Faustina, that PhD is rough. You tell me the colors, and I will have a blanket for you for when you walk across and you defend and walk that stage. I'm gonna have a blanket for you. You just let me know the colors.
All right, Faustina, girl, you got you a blanket coming. I'm mean. She said, I need you to be my best friend so you do my readings for me. That is hilarious. Oh my. So does anybody else like any other blankets? I mean, not blankets, lore. Any other games and weird games? I won't say weird because games are games.
Though that are just strange games, but you find them and you can find them in like these niche stories stores, or like there are companies that are sort of like they specialize in locating weird board games. I shouldn't call them weird, but just not the standards that you're used to. So I get what
Okay.
you're
Like
saying.
unique and
But like
okay.
off the maybe I'll bring a bunch to the game room at convention because there's some fun ones out there, but they are bizarre.
I get it. Miss Etta Carter said that my self care is crochet. It's crochet, so she does crocheting too. That's cool. So Etta is crocheting, y'all. Etta, I need to see some of your crochet. Faustina said, I love puzzles too. And then Shelfina said, Connect Four, Monopoly are my games. Oh, Monopoly takes so long.
It
Child.
does. There are ways to make lesser versions of them, and there are some hilarious versions. They're the kinds that actually have debit cards and things like that to teach you that. But then
Yes.
there's versions that are like they'll call it um something like millennial monopoly, or they'll call it like Gen Z monopoly, and
Yeah.
the languaging and all of it, like it's not the vibe for today. There are some hilarious monopoly versions out there that I love. You know
When we
what, I came this close in 2019 to having life-size, like gigantic Connect Four games when we did that picnic in Texas, when we were outside with that Novartis
Oh
picnic.
yeah.
Came that close to getting like life-size giant Connect Four boards and things like that because I thought it'd be fun. The picnic was fun anyway, but I feel
That
you
would
on
have been so good though. She likes Monopoly Deal. Okay, so I guess that's something we need to try because my nephew Evan, he loves board games and he's always trying to get me to buy board games. But Monopoly, I'm like, sorry, it takes too long. And then I got boys who are teenagers who, yeah,
competitive.
yeah, they are. And then they always trying to take people's land. It'd be a whole lot. And nah, we good.
That is
Um,
hilarious.
Fastima said, can you share the details of your elephant puzzle, Dr. Bailey?
I can. I was looking for my other one because I have one that is intense, and I completed it. I think I took a photo, then took it back down. But this elephant one, so it's difficulty 5A challenge. So there's difficulty levels. And it makes this, I might actually have to turn my background off, but it makes this really beautiful elephant.
We can
But
see
the
it.
pieces are multiple different. Yeah, I have no idea how to show this, but the
We
pieces.
saw it a little bit.
Oh, okay. The pieces themselves are all different tiny animal shapes. And then you have to pull them all together and figure out what goes where. and it's quite challenging. Like it is quite challenging. But if you're into puzzles, it's a lot of fun. And it's just like I think what they do is they use laser cutters so that they design it and then they use laser cutters to cut the shapes out in wood. And so it's an unusual way to do a puzzle. Like I don't know if you can see it, but this piece is a smaller elephant.
Oh yeah,
And
I see that.
this piece, it looks like it's some kind of rhinoceros or something, but all of these little pieces then fit together to create to design this much.
The bigger elephant.
Yeah,
Oh, and that elephant is cute though. Hey,
it's just
elephant.
really cool. I've gotten into the weird of
Kristen.
this.
Well, I like how it looks though. That's cool. I wouldn't do it though. I'm not a puzzle girl, but that look like you would have fun. I was gonna say that would look like it's fun, but I ain't want to lie to the people. That look like you would have fun.
It's fun. It is. Somebody just posted Family Feud. I own Family Feud, the board game version. That's fun too.
Listen, Crystal,
Crystal.
Family Feud, I could do that now. I could do Family Feud, honey. Now that, but it get competitive in our household. Just know that. But Family Feud. Oh, you know what, Dr. Bailey? I think we've talked about this idea. Woo. Okay, so for the convention, we can have teams, actual families go against each other. You've talked about this before.
I
We didn't
have.
actually do it, but we could.
We
Uh-huh.
could.
Uh-huh.
We really could. And it could if families are coming out and are willing to sign up ahead of time, we could. It could be so much fun. We've done a virtual version of Jeopardy this year, and
Mm-hmm.
we had a Jeopardy championship, and one player ended up winning $500, and the champions of each
Yeah.
individual round got 250, and we
Yes.
did the final round at SCDAA's convention, and that was a lot of fun. I'd like us
It
to
really
do that
was.
again, but we absolutely could, or we could do like East Coast versus West Coast, like sort of
Yes.
like the
Oh Lord.
community or
Oh,
North and we could do it. We could, or the guys, we could do Battle of the Sexes on a Family
yes,
Feud type of a thing. I
we
think it'd be a lot.
could. Well, we got to be careful with East and West because Dr. Riley she be really trying to go
Oh
hard.
yes, she does. Yes, she does. She does. That's
Oh,
the
I
other
be like
one,
Dr.
Faustina.
Riley.
That's the other one, Faustina, that we almost got a giant life size Jenga. It was Connect Four and Jenga, and then there was some kind of something you throw, but we had almost came that close. I see Charmaine Charelle is saying Connect Four too. We might have to do that because
I,
several of you have said Connect Four.
I feel like Connect Four is winning right now.
It looks like
Keeping my people busy with puzzles is great self care activity. She said, "Wait, keeping my people busy with
I love
puzzles."
it.
I caught on to that, Fatima. That means you done gave them people a puzzle so they could be quiet and leave you alone.
I keep looking up because I've got a bunch of my games up there. I have a Monopoly version that you build your cities, but it's three dimensional. So instead of the little hotels there, you actually build upon your cities. And it
Oh,
looks like I've got up there Battle of the Sexes. I have 90s, 80s, and 70s trivia. But I was trying to find that one game because I was going to tell you it's very obscure, but I don't see it up there right now. If I ever come across it, I'll tell y'all about it because obscure games, that's my jam.
Jahi said, I like Sorry the board game,
That's
Uno
good.
Flip, and Don't Forget the Lyrics. Now, Don't Forget the Lyrics is my jam. I like doing stuff like that. That is cool. And Uno is so good. It just depends on
It does.
what are your rules for Uno because people be tripping. You get into the game, they be like, no, this is the rules. No, y'all got to have rules ahead of time, okay?
And then people will be like, well, this is, and will pull out the Uno actual instructions. I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. Those are suggestions. Don't be bringing out the real instruction card. Taught you
Oh, oh,
no
that's so funny.
house
Oh,
rules.
just about don't do my Dr. Riley. She's very competitive, honey. Her and her always talking about East Coast, West Coast. No, ma'am. I recommend that we add Don't Forget the Lyrics game to game night. Oh, okay. All right,
Now I will lose because I forget all the lyrics. but that would be a lot of fun.
Oh,
Okay, I
and
have a
I look
random
up.
question, real quick, because
Okay.
I've learned recently that humans, we're not all as similar as I thought we were, and there are some very real fundamental differences to the way we process. And I thought this was normal. So please, y'all, tell me that you experienced this too. Does anyone else just have a random radio playing in their head? Random songs. And I don't mean an earworm, just random. Thank you. Okay. Thank
Yes.
you, Sharonda. Because just
Yes.
random songs
Yes.
that I might not know the lyric to, but when it comes on in my head, I can hear it word for
Yes.
word.
Yeah. Listen, you got some yeses in here. Yes, ma'am. It's a thing. It's a thing.
Good. Because
Yes.
it's like, where is the music coming from? And I've learned, like, so not everyone has an inner monologue. I didn't know. I didn't know that not everyone has an inner monologue. I didn't know that we all access our memories differently.
We do.
Like, say just now I said, does anyone hear music in their head? Now go back and think about that memory. Are you viewing that memory through your eyes in the first person, or are you viewing it in the third person? Like you can see everything around you. Because I access my memories in the third person, but apparently not everyone does. I just, that's different.
It is.
Or
You
if I
got to
say to
think
you
about
right
how
now,
I do it.
how do you, like, think about it, y'all? Think about a memory long time ago, recent. Are you recalling that memory through your own eyes? Do you see what you saw? Or are you recalling that memory in the third person? Apparently, there's a fundamental difference between way people recall memories. I had no
I think
idea.
I see mine.
But do you see everything in the room, or do you just see what was in front of you?
I think I see no, sometimes I see almost everything because I can like turn around and be singing it and feel like I'm in the actual moment. So
Okay.
which
See,
one is
my
that?
mind works that way too, but apparently not everyone does. Sophia
Girl.
says she's a viewer. Etta says she's third person. And yeah, a lot of y'all hear the music. I'm so glad. I am so glad I'm not the only one. Although this is going to be really weird. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, like,
This is
if you ever
good.
play games, and in a video game, especially those massive online role playing games, there are the player, and then there's non NPCs, so non
Yes.
playable characters that just give you. I am convinced that if life is a simulation, I'm an NPC. Let me tell you why. I am an NPC because the music that plays in my head, every once in a while, there's an ad. There's an ad in the radio in my head. Sure.
I'm not, that's not for me, Dr. Bailey. I am not, I'm here with you. I am listening to, I am third person, but ads, I don't do that.
That's new. That's brand new. I was like, wait a minute, is that an ad? Yeah, I'm an
Like
NPC.
Shavita said, nah, shorty.
Okay, I got one more. I got one more. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm
we like this. Come through. Come on. Crystal,
all
I
right.
know.
I
Crystal,
want you
breathe.
to picture an apple. Everybody on here, picture an apple.
Okay.
Do you actually see an apple in your head? Is it an actual apple? Because I do. My apple is red. There's a little brown spot on the lower left side. The stem is connected. There's no leaves. I can rotate my apple 3 degrees. I see
Mm-hmm.
an apple. Not everyone does. Not everyone has an actual
Wait.
image
So what? Now I do an image. So what else does everybody else see?
because other people's thoughts are abstract concepts. So they don't see, just like how not everyone has an inner monologue in their head. Not everyone sees an actual apple. Not everyone, and those that do, not everyone's apple is 3 dimensional. Some people, it's more the concept of an apple than an actual apple. I know, I
Really?
know, I
But I
know.
wait.
Jill
So if I
says she
see the
can taste
apple,
the apple.
honey, she on a different level. You got tasting, but taste buds sometimes. Then let's say if I now, that's when I'm hungry. I can't taste it if I think about it. But wait, go back. So some people see it. And so other people do what? They just think about it.
It's
They
more of
just
a concept. It's more of a concept. So like when I see the apple, there's an actual apple in my head. And some people, it's more just the concept of an apple. They don't see an actual apple. And it's, I think it has a lot to do with reading and how you read and how well you process words. But I could be wrong. This is not an area
that's
I've
what
ever studied.
Fatima said. She said it is the reading.
The reading. It could be. It may very well be because what I've learned is that we don't all read the same either. Some people, when you read, when I read, at some point it stops becoming an individual word. The boy jumped out of the tree. And it
I
stops being
see the
individual
boy.
and it just becomes the image, the activity. The boy is dropping out of a
Okay.
tree. I can see the boy, I see the tree. Some
Okay.
people, it never stops being individual words. And so
Oh,
some
I
people
see.
some people they will never be able to read faster than their speaking voice because it never stops being individual words. And so it explains to me why some people don't love reading because that gets tiring, it's fatiguing. And so some people always prefer an audiobook to the written word. And I will never prefer an audiobook because people talk too slow. But in a book, I can just go into
At your
it
own pace.
and it stops being individual words. But not everyone does. Like we are fundamentally different in the way we process the world. And I didn't realize that. I thought that everyone had an inner monologue. Everyone saw an actual apple. And I've just been learning in the past few years how wrong I was with all of that. And we all process the world in different and unique ways.
Wow.
I don't know how I got on this topic. Oh, the
I don't
music.
know, but
Okay.
it's good. But it's good because I got questions. Uh,
It's fascinating to me. Dr.
hmm.
Bailey, you think too much. Listen, that's another one. Listen, you guys are joking, but my cousin and I years ago, when she was young and she was probably a teenager, I was probably a young adult. She has at any given point in time, I am thinking about something. There's never a moment where my mind is silent. I didn't know that that wasn't normal. That other people can quiet their mind. I had no idea. I think in my sleep and I can wake up knowing what problem I solved or what I was working on or what lost thing I found in my sleep. I didn't know that wasn't normal. Like I didn't know that. And so she and I was like, you are thinking about something. She's like, no, I'm not. My mind was blank. I'm like, your mind is not blank. That's not possible. This is years ago. I was probably in my 20s. So a good 20 years ago. I didn't know that not everyone's mind, that people can silence their mind. I didn't know that was possible.
How? Because I'm gonna need to know how.
Listen, if I could learn that, I don't know. It's just that our minds process fundamentally, and not everyone's mind is just constantly going. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Fatima said, I'm gonna put it on screen. I
You got superpowers.
ain't gonna tell you, I thought that too, Fatima. I'm just saying.
No, I
Ella,
think what I have is ADHD, but I'm not gonna. I think that's what I have. I have. I don't know. I just didn't know. I didn't know. Etta says she is not joking. What did Etta say?
that you
Dr.
think too
Daly, you think too much. I do.
much.
I I have
He
superpowers.
says,
Etta's mind is also always going. I missed that one, girl. That is a rare gift. Please bottle some for me. You say so. It's
Charmaine said, I can't tell my mind to change topics, but I can't shut it off. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't tell my mind to change topics, but I can't shut it off.
so your mind can't. It doesn't obey you. Like if you suggest, I want to start thinking about something else, you can't do that. Is that what you're saying, Charmaine? And then Sajahid said it's like where someone would conceptualize the details of an apple. Some would think apple and accurate and conceptualize the Macintosh symbol. I think that's accurate as well. And we just
Wow.
process. Our minds are priced. We just process differently. I don't know, Shelfina. It's not that they can silence their mind. minds can just be silent. And I didn't know that. Like mine is never silent. My mind is never silent. And there are times when it feels like it's not even entirely in my control. In fact, I know that it's not. It's just my mind is doing its own thing. There is some really interesting research, though, if y'all are ever interested in that kind of a conversation, that suggests that our minds are actually doing their own thing. And it's not that we have free will. In fact, what they suggest is that we have free won't, that our brains have made decisions and that it's up to us to override it. That humanity doesn't, in fact, have free will. We have free won't. And that's a really fascinating study. If y'all ever want to get into that conversation,
Man, I'm
because
over here like this, like, okay.
there's some evidence that suggests that the two hemispheres of your brain actually can act independently. In fact, we know that they can. They can be separated and you can still function just fine. But the difference is it's only one hemisphere of your brain that controls the ability to communicate outwardly. So that side of the brain that controls speech and communication is the one that can communicate with the rest of the world. But your other side of the brain might not agree. And they've done research on that too, where the two lobes have been separated and the right side of the brain, you ask the person, for example, and you separate their eyesight so that the left eye is viewing, is connected to the right hemisphere, and vice versa. We know that it crisscrosses, and that you then ask the person a question, grab your favorite color, and the right hand and left hand will grab different colors because the right hemisphere and left hemisphere had a different opinion on the same question. Weird, ain't it?
Wow. So Crystal has a question. What the honey, they are all in. Let me tell you, this conversation is real good to me. Okay, Crystal says, Dr. Bailey, how do you get rest sleep if your mind isn't resting?
That's a good question, and I'm not entirely convinced I always do, because sometimes I will have slept, but I know for a fact that my mind didn't turn off all night. And then I think eventually I do hit REM. I hit REM sleep, where whatever is going on, my brain finally just shuts up long enough for me to get some sleep. But when I was in college still, and not grad school, college where they make you learn some of everything. And I went to a liberal arts school, so they make you learn some of everything. And there would be times when it would keep me up because my brain was still processing some concept and I couldn't let it go. And it was very bad after final exams when I had to keep a whole lot of different thoughts and concepts in my mind at once, that my mind would just be buzzing so bad. It would take days for me to pull it down enough that I could start resting again. I'm certain there's a diagnosis out there somewhere. I know for a fact I'm neurodivergent. And I learned a couple of years ago that I'm actually on the spectrum. But the difference is I was born in the 70s and autism was not the realm for little black girls. Autism was a diagnosis of little white boys. So it was just being learned, and even to this day women that are autistic present differently than men. So women still to
Mhm.
this day go undiagnosed when they're autistic. And it's because it was studied in men and it was studied in little white boys. And so if you were a black girl, I was just toe talkative or hyperactive, or, we got labeled. And if I had been a little black boy, there's a real good chance I would have been placed in the preschool to prison pipeline because my mind didn't shut up. But now, like right now, we recognize it for what it is. And that's just part of the neurodivergence. And honestly, I'm not joking when I say I suspect I have ADHD, but I don't have that actual written diagnosis. But I just think that that's just a thing, and my mind just constantly goes. But I brought that back because my cousin, I couldn't understand how can you not be thinking about something. I didn't know that was possible, and it just brings us all back full circle to how we really do process the world in very
Very
fundamentally.
different ways.
I didn't know. Like I get why there will be children who just don't like to read. Like my sister's kids, there's some that just don't like to read. But I don't think his mind has ever clicked to the place where it stops being individual words and just becomes a little movie playing in your head. So we're just fundamentally different. Charmaine said, I can tell my mind to change topics. I cannot shut it off. Yeah. I to the for the most part, unless something's going on with me, I can usually change topics. And I have like what I call mental playgrounds in my head where there are just different places where I can go and process certain thoughts. And I've started
Mhm.
organizing them. This is going to sound like such a nerdy thing into research laboratories. So in this research laboratory, I'm thinking about this and I'm processing this. And in this one, I may be telling too much. Y'all gonna leave this conversation thinking that girl is absolutely insane. No,
Nah, the people are super excited that you are sharing. What I love about this, and y'all know me, what I love about this more than anything is that Dr. Bailey really, really is a scientist. We call her our pocket nerd, but she has like some really, and we're gonna start a segment that's gonna talk about just just random things that she knows. Y'all, there are some random things
I got
that she just
random stuff to say.
know. And I'm like, how do you, who knows that? Why do you know that? Like, how? But yeah, she processes. And Crystal is saying, interesting. Now, Jahid is all in. Jahid said, people find it hard because when you are thinking of nothing, your brain is still thinking. It's just thinking of nothing.
Listen, don't get me started because we can have a whole conversation about the concept of nothing. I was thinking about just today that whole you can't define anything without processing the concept of nothing. Listen, let's not go there. But if y'all are interested, we could get into some weird combos. Faustina asks me, have you ever considered becoming faculty? She says that I'm a good teacher. Thank you. I was faculty. I taught at an HBCU for a couple of years as I was wrapping up my second. So I did two buckets of doctorate degree. I did molecular hematology, and then I did regenerative medicine. And regenerative medicine was the area I was in. Then I finally finished. And while I was doing that, I did at an HBCU, and I taught the sciences and I taught their labs. And then I did an extra tutoring thing in the nights to help people. This school had like an exiting exam in the sciences or whatever your field was, and I helped them get through their exiting exam. So I did for a little bit. I would love to. Um, that's just not where I am. And I don't know that sickle cell would allow me to keep that regular of a schedule, to be entirely honest. I did enjoy it, but I would miss too much when I'd go into the hospital and I'd have to have somebody step into my class so frequently that it didn't feel like a reasonable career path for me. Maybe it'd be better now that online teaching is so much more accepted. Maybe it
Yeah.
is something I could do now, but back then, physically getting to class for physically getting to the school, it just started being,
A lot.
it seemed like it was a reasonable career path for me. But thank you
Wow.
for saying that. That's very kind.
But that would be cool, Dr. Bailey. Online school is very popular right now, and you definitely could. You definitely could. I mean, you could probably teach multiple classes. I would wonder, what would you want to teach if you ever went back to do to be a teacher?
I don't know. My skill set is mathematics and science. So maybe somewhere in there. I would definitely want to be at an HBCU. I would love, love, love to do that. And maybe someday life will allow me an opportunity to. And even if I wasn't the regular teacher, I'd love to be that person that helps people get to where they want to go. Because there's lots of
Mm.
different paths you can take, and it doesn't have to look like everyone else's. I actually have a student to this day still contacts me. And when she had to get her latest teaching certificate, I met with her regularly to get her up to date with the science part of it. Um, she still contacts me. She has since gotten married, had a child, all kinds of life. But when something comes up, she still reaches out for me to tutor her. Um, And that, helping people get to where they want to be and recognize that there's a lot of ways to do it, that we're not on anyone else's timeline. I think we miss
Oh, I
that. I
like
think
that.
we miss that lesson that we think we're supposed to do things in a certain way and in a certain time, and
Yes, ma'am.
anyone else's timeline. Do what you do when you do it. It took me almost 9 years to finally finish with the doctorate, and by that point, I had done two complete doctorate degrees, and you know, it's fine. I'm not on anyone else's timeline, and I finished. The point is, I finished. So
And I
maybe
like
some.
that. And I like that you said that though, because not I was talking to somebody this week about that because I was like, oh my God, I feel like I haven't really, done everything I set out to do. And I'm like, and they responded, you are looking at what everybody else is doing and how they are doing it and how they went through their journey of going to school and, doing films. Because of course, everybody that really really know me know I really want to produce, like, not films but like shows. I like the behind the scenes of shows. I think it's so just great and interesting to me. And she was like, you could do it right now. Like, you could start going to school right now. You can go and get a job to do that right now. You can
Mhm.
create, the show you want to, produce behind the scenes. And you're so right, because I feel like, oh, I'm 45. Like, who's gonna hire me right now? Everybody's trying to get the young ones in that can really carry stuff and do stuff. But her advice and response to me was like, if they don't have it, create it. Like, if nobody
Create
will
it.
take you, create
Exactly.
it.
Hmm.
And
And
as
the
much,
thing is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
no,
Go
no, go
ahead.
ahead, go ahead. No, no, go ahead.
Well, no, I just wanted to say those years are going to pass anyway. So maybe
Yeah,
you're 45 right now, but 5 years are going to pass anyway. You're going to be 50 in 5 years, regardless. So they're going to happen anyway. Might as well do what you want to do in
yeah.
that time. I have somebody in my life that desperately wants to go to medical school and refuses because he keeps saying he's too old now. And it's like those years are going to pass anyway. You're going to get older anyway. So
Yeah.
why not? I honestly, though, I'm going to tell you this, Sharonda. You might not feel that you haven't accomplished or you're not where you thought you'd be, but let me tell you, I don't know where the consortium would be if it wasn't for you. I do know
Oh,
it would not be anywhere near as successful as it is. I do know the expo would not be
yeah.
happening at this level. Like, I do know that it might not be where you saw yourself going, but if it wasn't for you, especially when I hit that burnout in 2020, there's no way any of this would have continued to grow were it not for you. So I don't know where you wanted to be, but I sure do
Right.
praise God that you're right here, right now. Just throwing that
Oh,
out.
I got messed
Oh
up.
no, are you okay? Don't cry. I love you.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
baby. You know I'm a crybaby. Oh my gosh. Like, I literally was having that conversation. I was like, and you know how when you get older, you start thinking about your purpose and your plan and what is it for me and all of this. And oh, you're gonna make me now my lash is about to come off.
Oh, hey, we'll
Ooh,
change the subject, but I
okay.
am super, super glad. Faustina said, "You still got it, Miss Cupcakes. Age is just a number, and sometimes the older we are, the more motivated we become. You are doing great, Miss Sharonda, and I fully
Oh, thank
and completely
you.
agree.
You
Truth.
are so sweet.
Hashtag Sharonda is the bomb. Jahi. Man,
Jay, he's our student at creative content. Oh,
love
oh,
it. Love it.
oh
Uh,
God, y'all are gonna make me cry.
Faustina says she's in awe. Look at the unique gifts, unique abilities as a gift. Crystal says we should do a segment as Dr. Bailey.
Oh,
I
girl,
mean, if
I
you
was
want to
thinking
have
that.
conversations on some random stuff.
I was thinking that. I think we should, like, just have her just do really random conversations. We were gonna do some random TikToks, but this is so good. Like, some of the things that you're talking about, some of us, when we're thinking about it, we're like, oh, we feel like we crazy. But you like, hey y'all, does this happen? And the answer is yes.
It's me.
Am I the drama? Am I
Am
the drama?
I love that. Am I the drama? I think I'm the drama.
I think I'm
Um,
the drama.
Faustina says she can teach how to think of nothing. I might need to take you up on that because I don't know how to
I've
cipher.
never been able to do that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
Let's see what else
I ain't
we
never been
have.
able to think of nothing.
Maybe starting a program for children living with SCD with maths and reading. You know, I did when the pandemic first started.
She
I put
did.
up a post saying that I had the qualifications and would be willing to tutor anyone. I can do almost all of the sciences and mathematics up through multivariable calculus. And a couple of people took me up on it. So I ended up helping somebody with statistics, biostatistics, and I ended up doing like a regular kind of a class for someone to just get up to date. That student of mine I mentioned reached out to me, and I feel like I did something else, but it wasn't a lot. There wasn't really that many people that reached out that wanted any kind of tutorial or assistance. Because I know that I just don't really have time right now for anything consistently. But some classes like stats, biostats, especially if you're working on master's and PhD, I that was my side hustle in grad school. I my side hustle was tutoring and specifically biostatistics and all of that because it was good money. And I could charge like I would charge I think I charged $20 per person per hour in groups of I think 3 or fewer, but if it was groups of 4 or more, then it was $15 per person per hour, and they
Oh
would come in
wow.
groups. And yeah, I got good money doing that because the DNP program had changed. The doctorate and nurse practitioner, the DNP, and it now required that all of them have to take more classes, including stats. And so we suddenly had all of these nurses that became my customers. That was absolutely my side hustle. I brought in some good money doing that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Crystal says that's a word. We are not on anyone's timeline. No, we are not.
Hmm.
And
Learning
I
it.
love this. We need to pin this one from Faustina about Miss Sharonda because she is amazing.
What'd she say? Faustina, don't be over here making me cry.
The one I read about age being a number, and then Jahid followed it with hashtag Sharonda is the bomb. And
Yeah,
Faustina said, "Are you lying? You're 25. You cannot be 45.
I
I
am.
like no
I
crack
am. This
unless
year, honey, in October, and I'll be telling everybody my age because I didn't think so. I didn't think I was gonna get
you
there. So I was like, yes, 45, I made it.
listen. I get it. I'm 44. I'll hit 45 in 2023, and I
Mhm.
share that with everybody.
Listen, I'll
I
be
am
like,
not
yes,
ashamed to share. They say a lady shouldn't share her age. This one does.
me,
Because I'm
me
here.
too. Right here. Right here.
I'm right
Sure
here.
does.
Amen. Crystal, I'm glad this conversation didn't run you away because it got weird. It got weird. I always make it weird.
But you don't. You keep saying that, but you really don't. Like you have a really different way of thinking. But I promise you, there are so many people that appreciate it. And I just be over here laughing because, honey, I be like some of them things. I be like, I do that too. I do that too. So that's me too. So now it's not like that at all. Oh, wait a minute. She froze. Am I here, y'all? Or is she here? Who's here? Can y'all see me or y'all cannot see her? Could somebody tell me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think Dr. Bailey froze. I think Dr. Bailey froze. Or did I freeze? Joy, talk to me. Hey, la 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 la. I need everybody to tell me whether I'm here. Oh, Dr. Bailey froze. Okay, thank you. I'm like, is it me or her? Okay, so it is her. So I'm gonna give her a moment until she gets back with us. But y'all encourage Dr. Bailey because I'll be telling her, no, ma'am, you are not. Your conversations are not weird. Now they are interesting. I'm not gonna lie, they are interesting. But they are not weird. There's like tonight the conversation about music. I thought that was normal too, but apparently it's not. So that's a thing. But I do want to go ahead and tell you guys who won today while Dr. Bailey is out. The people that won today, there are two of them. Remember we had a contest going on, and the winners of that contest for today is Charlene McKnight and Renee Kirby. Woohoo! Charlene and Renee Kirby, you guys are the winners of the Nothing for Us Without Us t-shirt and a $20 Grub Hub gift card. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, I see Dr. Bailey. She's back. Hold, please. Let's add her back. Hey, Dr. Bailey.
Hey there, I'm here. My internet went out. I was trying to bring it back, but I had gone off on a random tangent. My internet said, "Girl, shut up."
It did not. We was talking about how your thought process is just different. It's not, you know, it's not something that we would like, oh no, what's happening? We like the fact that you bring up these things that we think in our mind, like, oh, I should never say that in public. And you'll bring it up and you make us feel better about it. So, I mean, I'm just saying, just like you were talking about those movies last night, I was like, there are some movies I believe is toxic too, but Dr. Bailey has the bravery to say it. You know what I'm saying? That's how that works. So we always appreciate you and your interesting conversations because they do be interested. I mean, they do. And so we appreciate those. So we were just talking about that. And I told them who were the winners of our giveaway last night, and that is Charlene McKnight and Renee Kirby. Woohoo! You guys have won a Nothing For Us Without Us t-shirt, as well as a $20 gift card to Grub Hub. Now, I'm not going to leave you guys out. We are going to do another giveaway. Now, tomorrow is the event. That is when we have our Sickle Cell Expo, and it's from the 16th through the 17th. And so we are super excited about that. And so we want to make sure that you guys are coming. So if you have not registered and registered for the event, please do so. I'm going to put the information in the chat right now. So please go over there and register for your girl so that we can have more people at the event shopping and supporting all of our vendors, because we have some pretty great vendors coming in. We have some, like I said earlier, some authors, some artists, and then we have some people that have brands and products and services. We even have somebody that's coming for taxes. Yes, taxes. We have somebody that's coming that's going to do some Mary Kay. Yes, let's get
Love
our
it.
glowing and things. We have a Mary Kay representative that's going to be there tomorrow, and we do have a performance by an artist called what is it? Wait, hold on. Mia Robinson is going to do Mia Robinson is going to do the poetry, and the other guy is Descendant. That's what it is. I was trying to
Descendant.
say, yes, Descendant is coming to do one of his he's going to be performing one of his pieces that he just dropped. He is a sickle cell trait warrior. And then we have our very own Mia Robinson that's coming, and she is going to do some poetry live for us at the expo. So we got some really good stuff coming at the expo. So please make sure that you are registering, and I'm going to put that up right now so you guys can see it. Thank you for hanging out with us. Hold on. Can I register in the morning? You know what, Crystal? You can register in the morning because here's the contest. Here
Yeah,
we
I
go.
was about to ask, did you share the details of the contest? And did we share how to become a vendor? Or is it too late now that it
Always
starts
forget that.
tomorrow?
No, you still can become a vendor. You definitely can. I am taking you guys in because I am creating. I wanted to tell you guys this. We are gathering and creating a list that will have all of the warriors and caregivers and community people in this space that does something, that has a small business, that's an author. We want to support you. So even if they do not have sickle cell, if you are not a caregiver, but you're in this space somehow, some way, then we welcome you to become a vendor. And even after this event is over, this is what I love about the fact that the consortium, like, we really are all in by supporting. We created a website. This website website is going to have all of the information for all of our vendors that came in. And we are definitely going to make sure that you guys have that information so that you can be a part of, even after the expo is over, people can go and still be a part and start. I'm sorry, people can go and still shop. They can support. They can do all of the things even after the expo is over. So that's the thing that's happened. So for those of you that have a business, that have a small business, you're an author, you bring some kind of service to the community or service whatsoever. I mean, whatever service you do, then you are still welcome. And let me put that link in the chat right now. And that link is there now. Go ahead and grab
Awesome.
that for your family and friends. Go ahead and do that. So that's how you can become a vendor. And as soon as you fill that out, there is going to be some information that's going to be sent directly to me. I will add you. You'll get an email, and then we can add you as a vendor. Now, as far as vendors, we cannot add any more vendors for this event after 12 o'clock tomorrow. Now, you
Yes.
still can be added to our website, but you cannot be a vendor after 12 o'clock tomorrow. So please tell your people, tell your cousin, tell your friend, tell your grandma. I mean, she might be over there cooking something that she can sell. I'm just saying, if you have a small business, you can be a vendor, but that cutoff time is 12 o'clock tomorrow to become a vendor. And that link is in the chat, and I'm going to put it on the screen just in case you are watching this later and it's 9 o'clock in the morning, you decide to watch this video. Just know that that
Can,
is the link to become a vendor.
let me,
And
can you hear me? Because I'm on
yes,
my phone now and I know it's
we
very
can hear
blurry. Okay,
we can hear
good.
you
Let me just really quickly outline a couple of regulations, you all. Just like at the convention, you all are able to join and able to sell your goods and services, except for any kind of course, alcohol, tobacco, or firearms. We cannot allow anything of that nature. The consortium is also only hosting the platform. We do not endorse any particular item that is for sale. We do not offer any kinds of liability or guarantees regarding any of the products. So we haven't really said that one yet, but I think you all are aware it's the same um, regulations we have at convention for the booths. And so we just want to make sure that you all are absolutely aware of that piece as well, that we are letting people sell and share, but they are independent entrepreneurs and that it is not that they are not, insured by the Sickle Cell Consortium or anything like that. So I want to make sure I said that at least once during one of these lives to get that small print in.
Amen. Thank you so much. And we did put that on the vendor form to let people know that those are the things that we could not sell, but we did not say about the liability. So thank you so much, Dr. Bailey. And we're going to say that again as we start our event on tomorrow. But yes, guys, so this event is happening tomorrow and on Saturday, 2 days of fun, shopping, networking, and lots of games. And so please come and join us. It is a time for us just to kind of relax and talk to each other for the holidays. It is happening now, and I know you have time with your family, and we want to just encourage you guys. If you want to bring your children, please go ahead and bring your children. They can see,
Yes.
how we are supporting the community as well. And so I do want to add that if your child has a business, they can also be a vendor at this event as well. So make sure to know that. And yes, every dime that the vendors collect during this event all goes to them. And so we are super
Every
excited that
piece.
we are able to do that as community leaders in this space. So, okay, guys, I think we have been on here long enough. Still got a little work to do for tomorrow. So we are going to drop off, but I still want to announce one more time that the winners of the contest is Charlene McKnight and Renee Kirby. If you are watching this later, Charlene and Renee, congratulations. You have won a Nothing For Us Without Us t-shirt and a $20 Grubhub gift card. And
Absolutely.
also, tomorrow, this contest, guys, let me tell y'all what y'all gonna win for this one. And I did see Fatima say, how can I get information about the movie? Where can I sign up for the movie, please? Let me address that real quick. So when you register for this event, you are registering to see and have access to the movie. The movie night
Absolutely.
is on Friday. We have a panel at 6 p.m. and then the movie will be at 7 p.m. So if you register now, you still will be able to see all of the information about the movie. And then when we premiere, you'll be notified. So please, please, please go ahead and register now. And I would go ahead and put that back on the screen so that you guys can see it. Oh, it's all the way up to the top. So let me go find it again. Oh, please. Joy, if you could do me a favor and put that link back into the chat, that would be great. But I do want to say tomorrow's winners would receive a movie night pack. Woo-hoo! And so that would consist of a $20 Grubhub card, I don't even know how much it is. Lord, I forgot to look. I think it's
The movie card.
yes, ma'am.
I believe the movie cards are 25.
That's correct. The movie cards are 25. You'll receive a movie card for 25, the Grubhub card for 20, and then also some little snacks. We'll have some popcorn and some candy. That is your movie night pack that you will receive. And so the rules are, here we go. If you register between right now and noon tomorrow,
And 12 noon tomorrow,
12 noon
Eastern.
yes, Eastern Standard Time, you will be entered in to the contest to win a movie night pack, which will consist of, one more time, it's going to be a $20 Grubhub card, $25
$25
movie
movie.
card,
Yes.
candy, and some popcorn. So, yes,
Yes.
let your people know. Now, all of you that have already registered, I know you're saying, Sharonda, so you're going to leave us out? No, we are not. Dr. Bailey would not let that happen. I promise you. So for all of you that have already registered, you will be entered into that contest as well. So we will have two of them. We will have one for those that have already registered, and then those who register between now and 12 o'clock tomorrow. So Crystal, you may want to go ahead and register because you have a chance to win that prize. All right, guys, I think we have done a great job at talking to you guys and having a good conversation. I like these late night conversations with the consortium. Now, I know it's late and we is tired, but I do appreciate y'all for hanging out and hanging around because it's been super cool to have you guys here and talking to you. And Dr. Bailey, I have to tell you something. You say that you're not fun, but these conversations have been really good these past 3 nights. So I want to appreciate you for jumping on. I know you have had long days, but you still jumped on for us and have these conversations. It has been super cool hanging out with you. So I'm just saying we may have to do this once a month or maybe quarterly. I'm not gonna put once a month on you because I know that's a lot, but we may have to do these late night conversations again because I thought it was super interesting, super fun. Your questions were great. And I think the audience really liked it. So I'm just saying, so y'all got to help me encourage her to get back on camera, and do one of these things. So that's the thing. Oh, I can't hear you. Uh-oh, we can't hear you. Okay, say something now.
I'm here. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. I'm glad that you all aren't off put by my weirdness and weird conversations. I know that they are strange, but would be very happy to continue having some weird late night talks with you all. I love it when we find a group and we're all the same kind of weird. So absolutely, I'm here for it.
And the people are saying, yes, they want to do it. Very enjoyable. Let's do this again. Yeah, so I think we're gonna have to set this up.
Fabulous. Fabulous. Sharonda, I believe we shared that how people can sign in, how you can register. I believe we also shared that you have to be registered in order to win any of these prizes. And you have to be registered to win any of the prizes that will occur during the expo as well. And so even though you're going to be able to watch the live, the main stage, During the event, you're going to be able to follow and watch the live stage, the main stage. If you're not registered and actually in the Zoom, you won't be able to win any prizes. You won't be able to bounce around in the different rooms. I saw a question that popped up, and I don't know while I was off. I know I'm still really frozen and bouncing around, but if did anyone answer the question about I have a Zoom, now what? There was a question someone asked about um, I have a Zoom account, and I saw it a bit earlier.
Okay, that's Etta Carter. Okay, I have a question. I have a Zoom account, so I think what's next? I think that okay. So what's next is the question. So if you have a Zoom account, when you register, it's going to ask you to sign in directly to your Zoom. That's all it's going to do. So if you already have an account, but here's the thing, make sure you are using the Zoom account that you register with. So whatever you register with, when you come back in, you have to use that exact same Zoom account or it will not allow you access to it. So what now is that when it comes in, because I know it probably said when you registered, it said, okay, now sign into your Zoom. All you have to do is actually sign into your regular Zoom and it will take you back to the registration and then it'll tell you your instructions about the event. It is going to show you the lobby. It's going to show you some of the sessions and the time that everything is going to happen. So that's what you'll see, Miss Etta. So if you have it, she said, okay, thank you. Cool beans. So if you have any questions, just email me, but that's what your next thing is. And so that is one of the things from this Zoom events platform is that they are asking you guys to sign back into Zoom. So it may seem like it's an error, but it's not an error. They just want to make sure that you do in fact have a Zoom account. Now there is an option on there for you to sign in as a guest, but even as a guest, they are trying to make sure that you have a Zoom account because they want to make sure that you are into the actual event. They have many events going on, and so they want to make sure you are in the correct event. So that's what that is, and that's how that's working. But if you ever have any questions, please put it on our social media page or just email me and ask me those questions about the expo, because that's the way that you'll be able to get in. And just reiterating what Dr. Bailey was saying, in order for you to win all of the cool prizes that we're going to be giving out, and Lord knows we are going to be giving out a lot of them this weekend, but the cool prizes that we're going to be giving out, you must register for that. And so if you have any children, they can also register as well, but they must register separately. So please make sure that that is a thing. But if you are coming in Zoom, please make sure that you have an account, and when you come in, make sure your name is, your actual name, so that we'll know how to address you when we are doing the prizes and when we're doing that.
Oh, so, that's so important. That's so important. Please do. And then make sure we follow up and get your emails, which we'll have when you register, but we'll need information from you. Sharonda, did you get an opportunity to, would you mind going back and sharing with everyone the other winners as well?
Absolutely. From the other day. Okay, got you. So for the first day, we have Miss Tiffany Wash and Delicia Barnett. They are the winners of the What Nothing For Us Without Us t-shirt and a $20 Grubhub card. And then from yesterday, it is for Charlene McKnight and Renee Kirby. You guys are the winners of a Nothing For Us t-shirt and a $20 Grubhub gift card. Yes, and you guys will be getting an email from me because I do need to know your sizes of your t-shirt. So please be on the lookout for that and respond as soon as you can so that our wonderful finance department can go ahead and get that information over to you. We want to make sure that we get your prize to you as quickly as possible, but we do need you to please send us the information when we request it. And Dr. Bailey talked about that yesterday. Sometimes when we're doing prizes for people, as we love to do, the only holdback is that when we do not have a valid address for you guys. So please make sure that you are responding to those emails so that we can go ahead and send out that great prize to you. And I do see that you said that's what I wanted to know. Okay, Etta, I got you. And I know you are going to get all cute tomorrow. We've already talked. But one last thing is, do not forget about, we have our creative content classes on both Friday and Saturday, and they are from 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Time to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so make sure that you guys come and be a part of those. They are really good for business owners, entrepreneurs, anyone that has a organization and or a business. So make sure that you guys come and join us for that. I think I've talked enough. I've talked in your ear.
Can I add one thing, Sharonda?
Oh,
Before
please
we
do.
go, y'all, I do see lots of you saying you've enjoyed these conversations. Um, and I'm so glad that you did. Thank you so much for joining. We love hanging out with you. Thank you, Faustina and Crystal and Etta and everyone else who has joined today. Before we go, I do want to just say one more thing, and that is just that if you are not partnered with the Sickle Cell Consortium, but partnership is something that you're interested in, you have an interest in connecting with us and the different things that we do, we would love to partner with you. We are not membership based. So partnership with the consortium looks a little bit different than if you are connected with a membership based group. It is in fact a partnership. And what that looks like for us is that we we want to partner with active advocates in this space. So we partner with community-based organizations. We partner with what we call sponsored patient orgs, which is like support groups and things like that that don't want to become a 501c3 nonprofit, but are doing active work in this space. Sometimes it's like a caregiver group or a support group or a children's group. And we partner with what we call junior CBOs. These are groups that are working towards becoming a 501c3, but have not yet. And then we have an entire group called IPCA. That's the Independent Patient and Caregiver Advocate. This group are the individuals that are active advocates in this space. So you're not part of the executive leadership of an existing community-based org, but you're interested in doing active advocacy and presenting and all of the different things that go with being an active advocate. We partner with both groups and then community partners and medical research advisors and so many others in government and industry. And the whole goal is for us to collectively come together to identify problems, needs, and gaps in the sickle cell space and then address them. And so I wanted to take a moment to talk about that because our upcoming leadership summit is in March of 2023. We are going back in person if the Lord wills and everything works out in that way. And if you are on here and have been enjoying these conversations, this isn't exactly what we do at the consortium. These are super fun, but it is about rolling up your sleeves and getting to work. And if that is you and you'd like to connect, we would love to connect with you. We call it credentialing. That's where you send in your information, your advocacy resume, all of that, and let us know that you want to be connected with us. We are going to ask that you try to get all of that into us as soon as possible, but no later than January 15th, simply because we then have to begin the process of booking all your flights, getting your hotels ready, and getting everybody. We bring all of our partners together once a year at the Leadership Summit in order to do the work of the consortium. So now is the time to do that. Now is the time to decide if you want to. If you're an existing partner, now is the time to decide if you want that to move into next year as well, and to make sure that you complete whatever re-registration is necessary to continue partnering with us.
Am I still here?
Uh-oh, you're still here.
I don't know if you all can still hear me or not.
You froze for a minute, but you're back.
But if not, I just wanted to let you know. I mean, if you can, I wanted to let you know that now is the time to do that. And we look forward to working with all of you.
Yes, Dr. Bailey, we can still hear you. Thank you so much for sharing about the credentialing process. We are opening up, and guys, we will send out information to you, but absolutely go to our website. There is a form on there that you can, let's see, here we go.
No, not the website, not the website. It's, remember, we're working on getting that form back up in there. So if that's something that you're interested in, message us so we can make sure we redirect you to the correct form that we're using until we can get it embedded back in the website.
Got it. Yes, ma'am. Okay. So that was what, oh, she said, thank you all. Thank you for all. I can't even see. Lord, and I got my glasses on. Thank you
Oh,
for all you continue to do for for our community. Fatima. Yeah, she's great. And we are super excited at the consortium about all of the work. And we have some great priorities for next year. Oh my goodness. Not yet, Etta, and we will send that information out to you. We'll send it out to all of the partners when we have that information ready for you. So, okay, guys, y'all, we have been over here for like an hour and 30 minutes. I cannot believe it.
Time to go.
The conversation has been good, but I do have some prep work for tomorrow. So we are going to bounce out of here tonight. Thank y'all for hanging with us, rolling with us, and rocking with us. We appreciate you all for being so kind and really being a participant in the conversations. Good night, Crystal. Good night, Etta. Good night, Fatima, and everyone else that is on here. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. And I hope to see each and every one of you at the Sickle Cell Expo tomorrow and on Saturday. It's going to be phenomenal. It's happening. Woohoo! Okay, so thank you guys and have an amazing night. We will see you at the next time on one of our late night conversations.